any dog with a vet is going to drop the suicide rate by close to 80%. When those dogs are in the jail, as you can imagine, they're exposed to everything.
Prior to that, I served law enforcement for 10 years, and I got burnt out, and I was like, I'm done with this. Hey, what's going on, family? Welcome to another episode of Call to Serve podcast. I am your host, Reggie Hubbard. I am here with a phenomenal gentleman here today. He's been a husband for almost 37 years, father of 3 girls, and commercial roofing contractor for many, many years. He's got a lot going on. He is the founder of Warrior Paws. We'll get into that a little bit later, but I don't want to steal his thunder right now. Let's welcome Mr. John Godwin. What's up, brother? How are you?
Hey, thanks for having me, Reggie. It's great to be here.
Man, it's great to have you. It's such an honor for you to come to our studio and just bless us with your presence, man.
Thank you so much. Thanks for having me.
100%. Well, why don't you just tell us a little bit about your story, man? Where you from? What you got going on? Like, who is John?
That's a crazy question. I got to be honest with you. So I am the son of a West Point graduate. Grew up on Army bases across the South. Finally settled in northern New Jersey and grew up there for my formative years. And then I went to college in South Carolina at Furman University. Met my wife there and married her, and I've been in Atlanta for, the last, 38, 40 years.
Wow.
Yeah. Crazy story. Crazy ride.
Wow. Well, I mean, being married for 30 plus years, I mean, not many people can say that they have accomplished that feat. Yeah. What is it like? Is there some type of secret sauce or what? How did you stay married so long?
Yeah, the awesome thing is I married probably the nicest person in the world. My wife is just wonderful, and she's a great mother, and she's really my best friend, and I think that's kind of what makes a marriage work. She's awesome. Yeah.
So did y'all start off as friends, or was there like a mutual attraction there?
Oh, Reggie, there was a mutual attraction right away. She winked at me in math class, and it was all over.
Oh, snap.
Yeah, that's right.
Oh, that's cool, man.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, because I mean, man, that's such an interesting thing. And I think it's very important, like just being best friends.
Oh, so important.
With your spouse.
Hey, you're going through life with them, you know?
Yeah. That's such an important foundation.
Mm-hmm.
Because, every relationship has its ups and downs, right? Like, there's good times and there's hard times and there's frustrating times. But when you have that as a foundation to build upon, man.
It helps you throughout your entire life. I would say, obviously the relationship I have with my wife is wonderful. I'm so thankful for it. But I also look at relationships overall. Many times you only get one chance to meet somebody. And I think all too often we don't take that opportunity as well as we should, whether you're meeting somebody wherever it may be by circumstance or whatever. I mean, I jump in an Uber when I'm traveling on business. I want to sit in the front seat because that's the only time I'm ever going to meet that Uber driver. And, there's something to learn from everybody if we all just take a little bit of time and listen to what other people have to say. I think you're going to be so much better off.
Man, that's powerful.
Yeah.
That is powerful. You can learn something from literally everyone, man.
That's right. That's right.
Oh, man, I listened to this song, and I cannot remember the artist right now. But the name of the song is "The Men That Drive Me Places." Oh, I gotta look it up real quick, man. Like, it's such a great song. And that just reminds me, he's just talking about like, hey, people come and pay to see me, but it's all of these great men that are surrounded by me in my everyday life that take me places, that serve.
Yeah.
And these are the real winners. Let's see.
Yeah, you never know who you're going to run into.
Ben Rector. Oh, my God. Ben Rector, The Men That Drive Me Places. So if you haven't listened to that song, definitely check it out, guys. Like, it's a very powerful song. It's very humbling. So let's talk about growing up. So you say you grew up on military bases. How was that?
It was cool. It was, it was pretty neat. I'll tell you, I was, as a young man, I was afraid of helicopters. So that's not such a good thing if you live on Army bases. Yep. So I would like duck under a bush or whatever. But I was petrified of them. But the really cool thing about growing up on Army bases, especially when you're really young, you're around a lot of other young kids, and socially, it's awesome. And as you know from serving in the military, everybody's a big family.
Yeah.
And, nothing separates one kid from the next kid. Everybody's kind of in it together. Their dads are doing a common thing. And it was a good experience for me.
Yeah. Do you think living on a military base kind of shaped who you are today and just, I guess, your passion for serving others?
I think being exposed to the military overall, I think definitely, growing up as a young kid on military bases certainly did have an effect. And then, seeing my dad and the friends that he had, his classmates from West Point, how close those guys were, all really, really good, solid men. And I think also the virtues that are bestowed upon you when you grow up in a military family, it's duty, honor, country, right? I mean, you don't lie, you don't cheat, you look out for other people and you do the right thing. That's really what's important. And that's really what we're all called to do.
Wow. That's very cool. So your dad went to West Point also?
Yeah, my dad went. I didn't go to West Point. My dad went to West Point.
And did you say your son?
No, when I was a young kid, I grew up on military bases. But I am the son of a West Point graduate.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
That's really cool, man. So I already know that's a very hard school to get into.
Yeah,
it's a very selective process, a very selective program. So I can only imagine being raised by someone who went to West Point, just the amount of discipline.
Oh, Reggie, I got to tell you, I remember coming home one day and I got a 97 on my math test and I showed it to my dad and I was proud. And he goes, "Son, that's awesome. Let's talk about which 3 you missed." I was like, all right, let's get after it. So, yeah, just, from being in the military, man, you push yourself to be the best that you can, and the moral ethics and the drive and doing what's right is instilled, I think, with everybody who's been in the service or around the service. And, whether you're a vet or a police officer or a fireman, first responder, I think there's a common thread there. All of those people live their lives, I think, to a higher standard. They put themselves, they're serving their community and they're serving their country. And I think that's really important. And that's really one of the fundamental reasons why we started Warrior Paws.
Wow. Yeah, we definitely need to talk about Warrior Paws. Talk to us about Warrior Paws. What is Warrior Paws?
Yeah, so it's a really cool organization, super, super proud of it. What we do is we place service dogs with vets and first responders. And Reggie, I'll tell you, we do it, I think, differently than any other organization out there. Our whole focus is on quality and making sure that we're putting the best dog with the people who have given so much to our communities and to our country. So what we do at Warrior Paws is we buy the dog kind of right at birth from the breeder, and then that dog is with the breeder for, 8 weeks. He's a professional dog handler, a guy by the name of Scott Rucker. He's an awesome guy. And he's with them for 8 to 12 weeks. And then Scott has a program. He partnered with the Forsyth County Sheriff's Department. The dogs then go into the jail, actually, for the next 6 to 8 weeks. And when those dogs are in the jail, as you can imagine, they're exposed to everything, right? So from a social perspective, those dogs are rock solid. There aren't sounds or noises or disruptions those dogs haven't been exposed to. The other great thing is Scott Rucker goes in. He started a program called Pups with a Purpose, Pups for a Purpose, and he's going in and he's working with the people who are in jail, and he's working with them to help them develop a skill. And at the same time, those people are helping train these dogs. So while that dog is in the jail, it's really mastering in on basic obedience, and it's getting attention 24/7. It's getting all kinds of great socialization and, experiences that are going to make that dog, again, rock solid. There aren't noises, sounds, or disruptions that dog hasn't seen. So we really feel like coming out of that, we've got a solid dog who's emotionally stable. Then that dog goes back to Scott Rucker and his team, and he does additional training. This is when he starts working on things like opening up doors or open up the refrigerator or, fetching a phone or, whatever it may be. I got to tell you, Scott is like a dog whisperer. He's even done things. There's one person who he worked with, and they have seizures, and they'll pass out, and he trained the dog to jump on this person and start barking until somebody else can come help this person.
Wow.
Or the dog also jumps and makes this person aware enough that they come out of their fainting and their seizure. So he's an incredible, awesome guy. Gives a ton to the community as well. So we work with him. Then what we do is we pair the dog with the vet. And then we find out what that vet or first responder needs. And based on what their specific needs are, that's where the training really starts to take place. So we build the foundation, we build the fundamentals. Then we get our vet or first responder, find out what they need, and then we start doing the custom training. Now that vet or first responder also has a little bit of skin in the game. So they've got to come to classes. They've got to come once a week for these sessions. And then over the course of the next 9 months, we're building a custom dog that is specific to this vet or first responder that can really be their partner and help them, have a great and fulfilled life. Somebody to serve them, to be a real partner to them. And that's really what we're trying to do, Reggie.
Wow. That's super cool, man.
Yeah, it is. Full circle, right?
Yeah, man. So obviously you've done a bunch of things in your life.
Yeah.
Right? Where did the idea, or when was the idea for Warrior Paws birth? Like what inspired Warrior Paws?
Gosh, I think the thing that inspired Warrior Paws, I think there are a lot of things around it. I think first and foremost, I've always felt like there's been a need to help the people who have helped us, right? So, you think about police officers, firemen, just take those two for an instance. Think about what they see every day, right? There's such an emotional load, and we don't think about it, right? Every time an arrest is made, every time there's a fire, there's a reason why people act the way they act, and these people have to take the brunt of that, right? Every time a soldier's out in the field, he sees horrific things that we can't really relate to, and I think it's important that we as a society take a step back and look at, frankly, the unsung heroes of our society. And those people there's all kinds of shrapnel, excuse me for the analogy, but there's so much that goes with that kind of service, right?
Yeah.
It can be physical. It can be mental. It may pile up over time, and then all of a sudden, it's too much. And I just feel like we as a society owe it to our vets and our first responders to say thank you, and they should deserve the very best care that we as a society can offer them. And I think Warrior Paws, in a very little way, is trying to do that. We want to put the best dog with the best fundamentals that is customized to fit the needs of those people.
Wow. That's very thoughtful, man.
Yeah, it's important.
I think the world would be different if most people shared that sentiment. I think a lot of veterans out there they feel disconnected. They feel maybe unappreciated. Some, I would argue and say that they even feel ashamed.
What a crime. What a shame.
Yeah. And I think what y'all are doing is just so necessary. It's so powerful. Just having someone, camaraderie is like the biggest thing. We talked a little bit off screen before we went on, and you asked me if I missed it. And I said, I missed the camaraderie because there's nothing like it. It's one of those you had to be there type of things.
Right.
And for someone to essentially come to you all and you all custom tailor a service animal or dog to their specific needs, they're going to always have or feel supported in whatever ways they need it. They're not going to feel alone, because I know a lot of veterans can get to that point.
Yeah.
That's why the suicide rates have been through the roof. Just imagine if those veterans that committed suicide, if they had a dog from Warrior Paws. I'm not saying that maybe that would have always stopped everybody. I really think that most of those suicides would have never been completed.
Reggie, if you go to our website, that's one of the things that we talk about, right? So, unfortunately, there is a lot of suicide.
Yep.
But if I can put a custom trained dog with that person, stats prove that any dog with a vet is going to drop the suicide rate by close to 80%. It's going to stop drug use by close to 50%. But if I can give a great quality partner in a dog to a vet or a first responder, they're going to have a buddy with them. Right?
Yeah.
That buddy's going to be with them right there.
100%.
And they're going to be going through life together, man. And they're going to be working through the struggles that they face. And, that's what we want to do. And I'll tell you, if there's anybody who's out there listening, who's a vet or a first responder, please understand that this is free of charge. We're providing the dog, we're providing the training. We'll get you hooked up, and we're looking to serve more people. So my hope is that somebody out there is listening, and they go to our website again at www.warrior-paws.org. Fill out an application. Let's talk, man. Let's get a dog with you. And these dogs are all purebred American field labs. They are awesome dogs, great drive, great empathy.
Yep.
What we can do is unbelievable. We just want to change lives for the people who have given us so much in our community and our country so much.
That's powerful, John. Can you just say the website one more time?
Yeah, thanks, Reggie. It's www.warrior-paws, like the -sign, paws.org.
Wow. Y'all heard it, family. Y'all heard it. Y'all definitely, if you are a veteran or a first responder, right, check it out. Reach out. Fill out the form. You just never know, right? They are here for you, right? So let's talk about that process a little bit, if you don't mind.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm a veteran. Let's say I'm a veteran, and I suffer with depression.
Yeah.
Or whatever. We'll just say depression. I go to the website.
Mm-hmm.
I fill out the form, the application.
Absolutely. Yep.
What does the process look like?
Next thing that's going to happen is we're gonna ask for some paperwork, right? We're going to want to see your papers, your honorable discharge, or whatever the case may be. We have a fellow vet who will pick up the phone and call you, and we'll go through a screening process. Frank Batacato is a Purple Heart recipient, and he's been there. He's been in the fight. He knows the game. He'll talk to you, and then we'll go through that process, which is really an interview process. Once you move through that process, what'll happen is we'll start talking to you. And I'll give you a great example, Reggie. This is a really cool story. We had a woman who's in both the service as well as the FBI. And she definitely had a need for a dog. And she came in, and we had a couple of dogs, and she thought originally that dog A was going to be her dog. But the really cool thing about having, Scott Rucker with Rucker Dog Training working with us is he's like a dog whisperer, man. He just stops and he watches the communication that goes on and the interactions between the vet and first responder and the different dogs, and he works together. So the first dog that she thought was going to be a great fit wasn't really the dog, man. So he moved her over to another dog because she had certain things that she wanted to get accomplished. And, the one dog had a lot of drive. She didn't need that much drive because that dog was a little bit hyper, and she wanted a more calming influence. So again, we're working with these vets and first responders. The most important thing is putting the right dog with a vet or first responder so that I can fit your needs and do what's right for you. I want to put you in position to win. That's our goal.
Wow. That's when I first met you, a while ago, and we sat down, we had lunch and kind of got to know each other, and I just like, man, this is a great guy. I just had such a great feeling about you, John, about what you're doing. I'm like, man, like whatever I can do to spread the awareness to get more vets in front of in front of y'all, man, and get some more dogs out. Like I'm for it, man, because
it's huge.
I know the impact that a dog can have.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, your shepherd's awesome. I know you love that dog.
Yeah, Mila is she's awesome, man. Like I got her as a pup. I got picked her from the breeder. They kept her, went back, after she got her shots, about 9 weeks or so, I picked her up. And she's been rocking with me ever since, man. But I love the name.
Isn't it cool?
Yeah. I mean, I just love the name. Cool. It just sounds like something that you'd be proud of.
Absolutely.
And then it's got the word warrior in it. So automatically, as a warrior, I'm just like, man, all right, let me look into this.
Yeah.
I think it sends the right message. And yeah, man, we're going to do what we can to get some more vets in front of y'all and get some more dogs in front of vets and first responders, man, because there's a lot of them out there that just need that relationship.
Yeah. The other cool thing is there's an internal community, if you will. So the other great thing for all the vets and the first responders that are out there, you go through class, and then at no charge, you can come into any of our advanced classes as well to continue on the skills. And then other guys who have Warrior Paw dogs are there as well as the overall dog community that Scott Rucker has built. So, we're going to tie you into community as much as you want, right? If that's not your thing, that's cool too. But we want to build a community. We want to make these people who have given so much to us feel loved and feel honored, because that's what we're about, man. We're about guys like you who you gave 14 years of your life to this country. I mean, how many other people are out there who do that? And how many people made the ultimate sacrifice and did that, let alone the people who got hurt, people who got hurt physically as well as emotionally. Those are the people that we got to get out and take care of. And same thing with, it's not just vets, it's first responders. Imagine what a fireman sees when he goes into some of the tragic situations and the emotions that are probably tied up with what he has to do, or an EMT responding to some of the things that they respond and see every day. And, you also have policemen who see people at their worst, right? And they're having to deal with people at their worst. And, mental health is such an important thing. And, you don't see it on somebody, but people are struggling with it every day. That's a whole other community that, we want to serve that community as well. It's not just the people who have the outward physical wounds. There are people that are struggling that we just want to help, man. If we get a dog with you, we'll help you out.
Man, that's awesome. Yeah, I don't think that a lot of people realize, kind of talk about first responders. These are men and women.
Yeah.
Right. Just like as you said, I love how you put it, that are seeing people at their worst.
Yeah.
So they have to deal with the crap of other people.
Yeah.
Right. For 10, 12 hours or even more. Then they have to go home and deal with their own personal stuff.
Right.
And then have to be able to, if they're dealing with some bad personal stuff, they've got to have a skill set to compartmentalize that, push it away, right, for 10 to 12 hours and go and deal with somebody else's stuff.
Right. And they still have to be a good father to a 6-year-old and an 8-year-old. Right?
Yeah.
Little girls, they're not going to get it, man.
They're not going to get it. And then they have to be, if they're married, they have to be a spouse.
Right. That's right.
You know what I mean? They have to be able to support their family, financially, emotionally.
Yeah.
All right.
You're called to be a leader of your family as well. So that's a load, man. People just I don't think people get it. I don't think people fully appreciate what the vets and the first responders and our soldiers have done for us. And to be able to create the communities that we live in and the country that we live in, give us the opportunities where we can all live the lives that we live. That came with some sacrifice. It's time to make sure we're taking care of those people that were so selfless in leading that part of their lives.
Yeah, there's a big gap, especially between the older generations and the new generation. And, I see it a lot. I guess one of the things that kind of gets under my skin, or definitely gets underneath my skin, is when people are saying the pledge and people are just walking around and like nothing, like don't even care enough to just stop. Like even if you don't say it or you don't put your hand across your heart, just acknowledge it. Because it's people who gave the ultimate sacrifice for you to be able to be in these positions, for you to be able to go to schools that you go to, for you to be able to have the jobs that you have, for you to be able to enjoy the freedoms that we have, right? Somebody, even now, is on the front lines, ready to defend our Constitution, our people against all enemies, foreign and domestic.
That's right. That's right. It's unbelievable what these people do. I mean, their sacrifices are unbelievable, and that's why we gotta take care of these people. That's why we really got to do the right things. Yeah,
and I am one thing I admire about you, John, is I can tell that you are hungry and eager to serve.
Absolutely,
you are hungry. I was like, man, this guy is like on fire right now. Like I could feel that heat coming from you, man. Like. You just want to serve, man. You want to honor the people who serve. And that's totally in alignment with this podcast, man. That's why it was created, to honor those who serve. Our slogan, serving those who serve others. and man, I can get behind that, man. So I'm picking up what you're putting down, bro.
Yeah, thank you.
You know what I mean?
One life, man. One life. If we do this podcast, Reggie, and we can change one person's life,
it's worth it.
Wouldn't it be awesome?
Yeah.
Yeah. Imagine if we could do 2.
2. Man, you can do 2, you can do 4. If you can do 4, you can do 8.
That's right. That's right.
Continue.
Just get the word out.
So, man, I am a huge fan of Warrior Paws.
Thank you,
my friend. And what it stands for. I'm a huge fan of you.
Well, I wish I could say it was me, right? It's not me. There are a lot of people behind Warrior Paws. We've got an awesome group. Major Nick Curry from Forsyth County Sheriff's Department is our vice president. He does an awesome job.
Man.
And then we have Bethany Baracaro, whose husband, Frank, is a Purple Heart recipient. She serves as our secretary and our treasurer and kind of keeps me in line. She's awesome. And then, we've got Warrior Paws and, the people in Forsyth County, Hall County. If you don't know Scott Rucker, this guy's amazing, man. What he gives to our community, he's putting dogs with teachers, and he's in the schools, and he's working with the police department with Pups for a Purpose. He's also working on the Forsyth County Humane Society, and he's an awesome guy who gives a ton to society. So everybody, Mary Beth, everybody who's part of Warrior Paws, all we want to do is help people, man. All we want to do is put dogs with people, want to put dogs with vets and first responders, and just, let us help you get your life. Let us help you live your life to its fullest.
Wow.
That's what we want to do.
Yeah, that sounds like, someone told me a saying is, hey man, if you want to go fast, you go by yourself, but if you want to go far, you go with others.
That's right.
You've got it takes a team, man.
Yeah.
Teamwork makes the dream work.
That's right.
That's
right.
And that's what it seems like you got going on here. So I'm super excited for everything that you have done and that you'll continue to do. I mean, if you can speak on it, like what do you see in the future for Warrior Paws?
Reggie, it's interesting. Originally, I had this vision of, grow, serve as many people as you can, go fast, go big. And then I took a step back and I said, that's really not it. It's really not it. Want quality, good product. I want to change lives one life at a time. I want to put the best dog with the vets and the first responders who have given so much. That's why I've got the best dog trainer. That's why we've got the best board. That's why we're doing what we're doing. We're going to do this one vet and one first responder at a time. It'll grow as God plans it to grow, right? Wow. But we're going to do it right. We're going to take care of people. We're going to make sure that we're helping people live their life to the fullest. That's what matters to us.
That's amazing, man. That's so amazing.
Yeah. If you customize your approach, you can't do it at mass, right? We don't have to scale this thing to be huge. And every dog we put out and that vet or first responder, that's our brand. So if we do an awesome job, then it's going to grow and it's going to take off. And I'm confident it will. And I'm confident it will happen. God's gonna make sure that it's done the right way, for the right reasons, for the right people.
Yeah. Oh, the right way, for the right reason, for the right people.
That's right.
That's powerful, man.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yep.
Man, so okay. Let's talk about you though, man. Like, because I just think you're an awesome individual. I would just want to know like a little bit more about you, man. Like
Crazy John?
Yeah, man. Like, so it hasn't always been Warrior Paws. Like, what have you what have you been involved in leading up into Warrior Paws?
So the community service, I guess, really started in college, right? There was a community outreach, a mini park for underprivileged kids that I did my junior and senior year. And what was really cool about it, Reggie, is I had more fun than the kids did, man. So what's really interesting for anybody who's looking to get involved in doing charity work or giving of your time, please do it. And what you'll find is that you'll get a lot more out of it than you put into it. And it'll be rewarding and it'll be fulfilling, and you'll grow as a person. You'll be exposed to people that you didn't think you'd be exposed to. And more times than not, I think you get a kind of a God taps you on the shoulder and says, do this. Just listen.
Yeah.
Just listen. You'll be surprised where it takes you. So I've done some interesting things. I had a buddy of mine who was involved in a program called No Longer Bound.
Oh, yeah, I've heard of that.
It's an awesome program. It's a great program. What they do is they serve men who suffer from addiction. And this buddy of mine told me about it. And so, we gave them a couple of bucks, and they called us and, to come take a tour of it. And I went in, and you know what? I started just showing up on Saturdays and working with some of the guys. And one thing led to another. And a really good friend of mine went through that program. And he's actually part of how I got involved in the whole dog thing. So it's pretty cool. He suffered still. I mean, once you're an addict, you're always an addict, but he had an addiction issue. He went through the program. It's a 12-month program. He was about 9 months into it, and he said, "John, I'm leaving." And I said, "No, you're not." And he said, "Yeah, I'm leaving." He said, my girlfriend's got my dog. I want my dog back. I just, they were all these reasons to leave. And I said, "No, I tell you what, you finish and I'll give you whatever dog you want. You tell me what you want. The day you graduate, I'll give you a dog."
Man.
And he said, "I want a German Shepherd." I said, "John, that's like saying you want a truck, man. I mean, you want a male? Do you want a female? You want what color do you want?" And he said, "Man, I want a black male German Shepherd." So I never had a dog before. So lo and behold, on graduation, I handed him this dog, and he said to me, "I've got one problem." I was like, "What is it, Johnny?" He said, "I don't have a place to live." I said, "I got a solution for you. You can come live with me." So John lived with me for a couple months, got his feet on the ground, got a job. It was time for John to move into his own apartment. He said, "John, I got a problem. I can't handle this dog." And I said, "That's fine. I got a solution. I'll take the dog." So that's how I got my whole lead into dogs and dog training, and how I got connected to Scott Rucker, who helped me with this dog. And but once again, you get that tap on the shoulder. Don't know how it happens or why it happens, but God has a plan for you. And if you listen to it, you follow and you pray about it, good things are going to happen, man. Just follow it. Serve other people. Everything will take care of itself.
Just something about getting that tap, man. I think about it for myself personally. What I do now, as an SRO, for kids, man. Prior to that, I served law enforcement for 10 years, and I got burnt out, and I was like, I'm done with this. Business is good. Like, it is what it is. And then I get a call from a good friend of mine, and they need somebody to marry them. So they asked me to officiate their wedding, and I did. That led to me walking to the courthouse that led to a deputy there just saying, man, there's something about you, about the way that you walk, about your presence. He said, have you ever considered law enforcement? I was like, well, actually, I've got 10 years of experience, but nah, man, I'm good. I'm burnt out. It was like, really, man, nah, man, we need some really good people. We got all these kind of programs, specialized units you can go into if, as long as you have the proper experience. And he said, man, like, we got a school resource officer program. And as soon as he said that, I just felt like something was tapping me on the back of my head.
Yeah,
like,
that's right.
He's talking to you, buddy. He's talking to you, buddy. And so I went home. I told my wife about it. And she was like, man, dude, that is you. Yeah. You love serving the next generation. That's all you, man. Like, if you can make it work, I'll support you. And but that led to me meeting you.
Yeah, but Reggie, you do middle school, man. You got kids all over the place emotionally.
Oh man, they are. Listen, I love those kids, man. Like,
I bet you could write a book.
I could, dude. Like, I could make a movie, man. Like this, there's just such a wide spectrum of personalities.
Oh,
it's crazy, man.
Yeah.
And these kids, they don't believe in personal space. So I got pneumonia for the first time in my life from a middle school.
Yeah, there you go.
It was almost like they was like, man, we was wondering when you were going to get sick. Because, it's like, man, I never had pneumonia in my life until I went to a middle school.
There you go.
All the fist bumps and high fives, man.
Those kids love you, too.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I love them, too. They're awesome. I always make sure every day, when they're getting dropped off, the car riders, man, I'm standing right out there front, rain or shine. I tell them, rain or shine, I'm your guy. Yeah. High fives keep me alive.
That's right.
And I give them fist bumps and high fives, man.
It's such an awesome calling.
Yeah.
So good. It's such a difficult age for kids, too.
Yeah.
Going through a lot.
Yeah, but it's just like what you're saying, you get that tap on the shoulder, you just never know.
That's right.
Just serve.
That's right.
Just serve, because you never know who you're going to cross paths with.
That's right.
You know what I mean?
It's fun, too, isn't it?
I'm just thinking about how we met through someone else.
Yeah.
But I was introduced to him through a student's father.
Crazy, isn't it?
Because he saw how I served his kids every single day. And he cared enough. He said, man, I see what you're doing. I want to support you, man. Let me introduce you to so-and-so. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So
we all got together and had lunch. And then, a couple of weeks later, he's like, hey, man, I want you to meet John. You know what I mean? Then we connected, and now here we are, man. We're,
It's great.
It's just crazy. Awesome. But it all starts with just making a decision and just saying yes to serving.
That's right. It's what it's all about. It's never a bad decision.
Yeah. Yeah, and I'm so grateful to have met you, John. I mean, I just think that day you were a light. You were a light. You came in that school and you were a light, man, of my day. And what you're doing, it just touched me personally because I've been there. Where I felt alone. I felt like I couldn't connect with anybody or nobody understood me. And,
Don't you think everybody has that at some point?
Yeah.
I mean, it's just, man, just go out of your way and put your arm around somebody.
Yeah.
Tell them you're thinking about them. I mean, we get so many chances to do that in our life. How many times should we walk right past it when you can really make a difference?
Yeah.
So important.
Yeah, man. I just have a you first mentality, man. Just serve.
That's it.
Serve, man. Yeah. Dude, bro, I could talk to you forever, man. I can talk to you forever.
Yeah.
But I have this question that I ask almost everyone. I think it's a phenomenal question, and eventually I'm gonna have to change it up but not today.
Okay.
What might people be surprised to know about you,
Reggie? You had to ask.
I had to ask it, man.
What would people be surprised to know about me? So, funny story. My daughter was in chorus in either elementary school or middle school. And she was asked to participate with a couple of other kids that were in the chorus to do the soundtrack to Pete the Cat. So the author of Pete the Cat had a tie into the school, and so they were doing the music behind it. And for some reason, animal noises came up, and they were talking about needing an elephant noise. So my daughter raises her hand and goes, "My dad can do elephant noises." So they said, "All right, let's hear it, John." So I did it, and I am now on Pete the Cat's audio.
Would you care to make that elephant sound for us?
I knew you were going to ask it, man. And I hope I don't blow the decibels out on your audio.
You're good. You're good.
So I got to do the whole hand gesture as
well.
The whole trunk thing.
Let's go.
I got to get into like my elephant being, right? Think tusk, baby. You ready?
I'm ready. That's awesome,
there
dude.
You go.
That is awesome. Man.
Got to do it. Got to have fun in life.
That's super cool, man.
Yeah.
Thanks for sharing that with us, man. Well, before we let you go, I do have something for you.
Awesome. Thank you.
And you brought me some gifts earlier, too. I really appreciate that.
Yeah.
What I have for you is a custom minted Call to Serve podcast challenge coin.
Wow.
Okay. And it has our logo on the back, serving those who serve others. Right. But what I want that to be is a reminder for you as to why you serve, why you chose a life of service. That's what it's about, man.
Yeah.
You know, sometimes we just, it's the subtle things. Sometimes we really need a reminder, because the life of a servant leader can be a taxing one. It can be a very heavy one when you're always putting the needs of others before yourself. You know, it's not for the faint-hearted.
And I hope that everybody who's out there who's listening, if you get a chance, you see a police officer, you see a fireman, just say thanks. You know, just let them know they're appreciated.
Yep.
You see a soldier, see him at the airport, shake their hand, tell them thank you, man. It goes a long way. Everybody wants to feel loved.
Yeah. Yeah. One of my coaches, and we're coming up on time, but one of my coaches, he said this to me, and he said, Reggie, how do you know what kind of person needs encouragement? And I'm like, man, it's got to be a trick question or something, like, you know. And I'm like, I don't know, like if they're walking with their head down or something. I'm like just. He said, if they're breathing.
That's right. It's exactly right. Totally agree with him.
Light bulb moment, dude. Like, I don't know, man. It was like, whoa.
We all do.
Everybody needs encouragement. It doesn't matter how successful you are. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Right? Everyone needs encouragement.
Yeah. Yep. They do. Absolutely.
Everyone. So I support that. You see a soldier, you see someone serving, even if somebody bagging your groceries at the grocery store, just say thank you.
That's right. That's right. That's right. Absolutely. Yes.
Just say thanks.
Yeah. Doesn't hurt. Doesn't cost you anything. Put a smile on somebody's face.
Yeah.
Heaven forbid you ask them their name, shake their hand. World will be a much better place. Doesn't take long.
Doesn't take long at all. Well, John, do us a favor. One more time, give us your website.
Yeah. Thanks, Reggie. It's www.warrior with that minus sign, paws.org, Paws, paws.org. Any of you vets or first responders, please let us know if we can help you. Really want to help you live your life to its fullest. Let us put a partner in your life. Let us help you out. These four-legged little fur monsters are awesome, man.
Yeah, they are.
Yeah.
Yeah, they are. How else can they can they find you? You on Instagram?
Absolutely. We're on Instagram at Warrior Paws Inc. On Instagram. We're also on Facebook as well at Warrior Paws. So, yeah, if you guys can check us out, we would appreciate it. We can just spread the word and get to as many vets and first responders as we can. That'd be really cool.
Well, thanks so much for sharing that. Thank you so much for your time and just coming and spreading some more awareness. I'm honored to have you on the podcast, brother.
Thank you,
and I want to have you back in the future. We can kind of dive deeper into some things. But
that would be cool.
Yes, sir.
Bring a dog in.
Yeah, man. Heck yeah, dude.
I'll bring Ranger in.
Oh, man. Yeah. We got to do that, man.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Well, brother.
That'd be awesome.
Until
Sounds
next
good.
time.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Thanks for everything you did for our country.
Thank you, brother.
All right, pal. Take care.